Hello, and as we continue, mind you, I read from Hosea chapter 4, and from where I read, it spoke of murder, it spoke of adultery, it spoke of lying against one another, and then it says, these people, if that's a palimodi priest, on the priest is a thing, let's on it, ne di low for halajaga bone. Yeah, the more by the priest, bonele the priest, they do the same thing. So what am I saying? Currently we have the church in our nation. What is the role of the church? The role of the church is to direct people to God. And then when we have the church that has to direct people to God, then now we are seeing that we are having a flood of prophets coming in the church. And these prophets, they're not coming with anything good in the country or in the nation. What they are doing is to swindle the people of their money without directing them to God. And then people are alienated from the church kana ba tswa mo dikerekeng ba fila gore kereke ga sa serve purpose ya se ne tshwantse gore ka bo se dira, which is to build the community. And for a church to be able to build the community, the pastor himself, the priest himself, he has to abide by the laws of God. And the laws of God, they are there to instruct the pastor and the priest, not only to instruct the followers. So even Jesus said a blind leader cannot lead another person. So how much then how do our leaders blind? Our leaders, their blindness comes from kanya ya go iteba ba le nosi ebile ba sa batle go tsaya boammaruri ka ha bontseng ka teng gore se ba se dirang ga se sone. So be na yone khanyo ne ile gore re iphitlhela re le mo gone gore we are led by people mo dikerekeng ba ile gore ga ba tsepama mo boammaruri. They have their own way of thinking ye ba feelang gore that is the way to lead a church. Whereas the Bible has clearly outlined the duties of a priest and how a priest should behave, or even clearly have outlined how a pastor should behave. And then they ignore those lines, the moral lines that the Bible speaks of them. You cannot be a leader because Bible is there to correct you as a leader and to correct your followers. You cannot go and correct your followers without correcting yourself. So how modimo go khalemela as a leader to say ga ke bate boleu, ga ke rate boleu, ga ke rate 1 2 3. Boleu ke anything that is evil, anything that is against God's will. Ke boleu. Ha ile go rwena o le moruti, you are going to sleep with the children le bana ba ba mo kerekeng. Wa go dira dilo tse di sanang sente mo teng ga kereke. O le swahatsa leina la modimo. Then that way you are not being a good example. The church in a big role to play mo go age matshelo a batho, and the pastors have to maintain the name of God in order. The Bible in James says, let us not be many teachers of the word, for we who teach the word are going to be judged with a strict judgment. Why judge you a strict judgment? I mesere se rutang a ke swene se modimo a eletsang gore re se rute kana re ruta dikeletso tsa rona tse di khotsogatsang rona. Because if I gore ke a go rerela go mo eleng gore go khotsogatsa nna as a preacher, ke lebile se ke le selebileng gore nna ke gain, then I'm not preaching the truth. Then I'm not telling you the truth. I'm not up to standard sa gore nkebe ke rera kana kwe. Because I have to tell you the truth. Why is it God hating this? Why is God not having this? Why God is not asa tsamaelane le dio tse because modimo a ka tsamaelana le sengwe le sengwe se re se dirang, no matter gore re se sugar quota yang gore se lebege se siame. Ha le boleu ke boleu bu bua jaaka bontse gore this is a sin. And it is up to the individual gore yaanong a ene wa bona gore boleu bo bo gagwe bo a ke a ikope maitshwarelo mo modimong wa bona. So we have a lot of things going on in the church, but it's not a surprise at the same time gore ebe kereke e tobekane e sa kgone go maintain order in the society, because in the last days Christ spoke that there will be many prophets who are going to come in his name. And imagine these prophets ha ba ya go kopana le Jesu Kriste ka motlhabogelo wa go barare this simple word, I never knew you. The reason someone will say I never knew you is because you are going against the agreement they are nang le yone le wena. Ha ile gore wena le ene ga le dirisane ka agreement eo, go ra gore rena re itsane because ha re se re go dumalane se se le gore wena ta ka sona. So there is a contract in the Bible that God has laid out ya gore wena as a teacher of the word o ka ruta yang. Then wena if you are going to make your own contract as a teacher eleng gore ya go suita your benefits, then that contract might be as well useless as it is. Ya go benefita wena, and then gape ya go dira gone gore ba eleng gore they are easily deceived ba deceiver, because the Bible says in the last time people will be deceived. Yes, you will manage to deceive some people, but not all people will be deceived. So it's a very complex issue that we have to look at both sides. So in the nation, when the church is in a nation, and we are expecting the church to be up front, because we see it has to maintain that order. Maybe sa kgone go maintain re le ba yang re lebella issue na the priest tse modimo wa buang gore ya no le tsone di a leuha as the priest. But I see them every day ba dira yana lana ke le modimo ke bona ka ha ile gore ba tshela ka teng. Me ano yo mongwe wa ka yo mongwe a re a go le miseng kganye le diranye ya go aka ka ba bangwe ya go bolana, because go gonna go tsholletswe madiruri. So the modimo a kgalema o bona sengwe le sengwe se se diragala modimo le kile go se kgalema. Sometimes batho ha re bala Bible a re ska re bala gore rena re batla go benefita sengwe mo Bible gongwe go benefita promotion gongwe go benefita lenyalo gongwe go benefita a Bible e correct your character as a human being, as a leader. If the Bible cannot correct my character then I shouldn't expect the Bible to correct the other person's character. As pastors, as teachers of the word, let our characters, multitudes will mean nothing to God. Multitudes. Okay, so so you can be followed. One let the multitudes of followers. These followers of yours, you have to tell them the truth as well. The mandate of God is not for us to the things you are doing them for yourself in order for you to live the life you want to live. As long as God is going to so modimo ha tla go tsena mo botshelong ba go a bo fetola, people will see that indeed you are changed by God. You shouldn't be changed ka gore does not move with you. If God does not work with you, then anything that you are doing, you are just doing network. So like I did, so there are things that these prophets, these pastors, other pastors are saying in the name of God. Problem network. So we will engage more on this chapter, Hosea chapter 4. When I come back later evening today, we will go more into detail. As a nation, we need to be prayerful. All the preachers, all the prophets who are claiming to be of God, for you to be genuine, you must first listen to God. How do you listen to God? Listen to His word. Reread His word twice or thrice. The same chapter you have read, you can read it 4 times and make it sink into your head. Dimo ka botshelo ba gago ka ha o botshelang ka teng ka ha modimo ya letsang gore o ka no. So God forgive our sins. God cleanse